Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a little bit different style of a video, and that is a story time, kind of my experience video with baby blues. I get a lot of questions on my experience and advice I might have for other moms and new moms and stuff like that. So I thought I would sit down and share this video with you guys. I am no expert. I've never been diagnosed with anything. I have seen therapists and gone to counseling throughout my life because in the past I've had a little bit of depression and loneliness. Again, nothing that's been diagnosed, but I don't think it needs to be diagnosed. I think if you're sad and you should seek help or seek support. So I guess to start off with, I'll say that I did kind of struggle with depression and loneliness in the past, especially my senior year of high school, which is a whole other story. Maybe one day I'll do a story time video on it, but I'm certainly not ready to talk about it considering it was only like 6 months ago and it was an extremely hard time in my life. I do kind of struggle from depression in the past. So I don't necessarily believe that you have to suffer from depression to go through baby blues. I think you can be the happiest person alive and still get baby blues or postpartum depression. Now, this isn't something that I researched a bunch of before I did this video. I'm kind of just sitting here and telling you my experience because I don't want to bring facts into this. I want to tell you how I feel without knowing those facts and tell you that it's completely normal to feel these things without the internet telling you, you know, oh, well, it's this or that, or it's not this or it's not that. So that is why I'm making this video without doing research. But something I do know is there is a difference between postpartum depression and baby blues. Postpartum depression can be dangerous only because you could wake up in the middle of the night with a knife in your hand. I mean, that's totally not something that always happens. So if you think that you might have postpartum depression, I would just recommend reaching out to a counselor or telling your OBGYN at your 6-week checkup or whatever it may be, because it does help when you have support or someone to talk to. I had been in therapy all my elementary school days, and then I started seeing one in 11th grade going into 12th grade, and then I kind of stopped just because I don't know why. That's the time I needed it most in my life, but I just didn't. So I stopped going, and then when I was pregnant, I was very happy and outgoing. I mean, I was grumpy, but that's just pregnancy. That has nothing to do with depression. But I had just always kind of seen a counselor or a therapist, and it really helped for me. I know it doesn't help for everybody, and not everybody believes in that, but it helped for me just to have someone to talk to that was kind of outside of my situation, didn't have an opinion, and really just gave me like professional advice, I guess. It's hard for your support person to realize that you're not sad, so I tried to constantly tell Oscar, I love my son, it's nothing that went wrong, it's just, it's normal. It really is. So many people get baby blues. I don't know that many people that got postpartum depression, but I do know that it is very likely to have one or the other. So don't be scared or worried that you're the only one and you can't find anybody to support you, because there's so many people out there. You can always reach out to me. That's why I'm making this video, to really help you guys know that it is out there. It's very, very common, and kind of share my ideas on how to help. So to start off with, like I said, I was very happy throughout my pregnancy, and then my son was born October 18th, and he was 6 weeks early, a little bit less than 6 weeks early. And I, for some reason, throughout my whole pregnancy, had a feeling that I was going to have him around 35 weeks, which was about accurate. I didn't think I was gonna have him for the reason that I did, which is placenta previa. I was kind of prepared for that, so that wasn't too shocking for me. I already had a hospital bag packed and all of that. The first and second day, I didn't feel that I had it, so I was like, oh, maybe, you know, I surpassed it, I didn't get it, or whatever, you know, it just wasn't there. And it's not something that I sat and thought about for very long because I was busy, tired, and focused on other things. So I wasn't sitting there and waiting for it to like hit me or something. I'd kind of forgotten about it. And then the day we left the hospital, which I believe we were in the hospital for like 5 days because he was premature and in the NICU. After like 5 or 6 days, we went home, and I remember looking back at the room that we were in, like the door, you know, as you walk out. And I remember looking in the room and thinking, oh my gosh. And then waterworks. I started crying. My doctor told me that she thought it was baby blues, and I was like, okay, like, you know, I was still just like, oh my gosh, like, I think part of it was baby blues, but I also do think that it had to do with the fact that that part of my life was over. Something that I had waited for 9 months happened and like flashed before my eyes, and now I'm leaving and going home with a new baby, and you cannot be prepared enough for that moment. I read books, I did like so much to be prepared for Levi to come home, and just nothing can prepare you for that moment. Like, ever, no matter how good of a parent you are. It's just, it can be a little frightening. The thought is exhausting, you know? So that was really hard for me, and I started crying, and then I was fine and kind of, you know, controlled myself. And then we left the hospital and went home. And the second we got home, you guys, it was just like a completely different story. Like, I was just really, really down, and I didn't have a reason. I would come up with reasons in my head, like, oh, I wasn't prepared enough or something like that, to try and like figure out my feelings or really cope with it and accept that I felt that way. But what I needed to do is accept that I just had baby blues, and you're just gonna have them. So if you have baby blues, or you think you do, I would just accept that you have them and try and move on from there, rather than trying to diagnose yourself, or like, oh yeah, I'm just sad because the laundry's not done, or because I'm tired. You know, just realize, okay, I have baby blues, this will go away, and now I need to take a nap or change his diaper or her diaper. You know, just really think about what you can do. Now, I know a lot of people tell you that when the baby sleeps, you should sleep, which is true, but it helped me to actually stay busy. So I'll get into the advice later. I don't want to go off on that tangent right now, but to continue my story, I just kind of felt really depressed, and it only got worse. I thought it was gonna get better, and it only got worse. I mean, you hit rock bottom before you ever go up. So if you think, I think I have it, it'll probably go away. Oh no, you're gonna hit the ground, like the bottom of the ground, like under the ground, and then you'll go up after being on the bottom for a while. So I know that sounds terrible and mean and scary, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's just, that's kind of how it is. And I think once you come to accept that, it's a little bit easier and puts you at a little bit of ease, you know, because it does go away eventually. I don't know how many of you actually know this, but my boyfriend and I actually moved to Montana from Los Angeles. So we used to live around a lot of friends, a lot of family, and just always being around people. We're very social people. He worked in a job where he was always around people because he did kind of like a customer service. He worked at a vape shop, so there was a lot of customers. And then I was a nanny, so I was around kids, and then we had friends from high school. I mean, we were just always being like entertained, I guess. And then when we moved here, I had nobody. I mean, I had my grandma and my uncle and my cousin, but those are people I've never really been around in my life since I was really little. So it's not like I was like 100% comfortable with them and I was comfortable hanging out with them all the time. We didn't really have anybody, especially Oscar. He had nobody. So we didn't mind that so much when I was pregnant, because we moved here 3 months before I had Levi. But then once I had him and I was settled in at home with him, I started to feel very lonely. I wanted support. I just wanted somebody to like complain to. Like, let's be honest, I just wanted to sit there and tell someone how tired I am. Because sometimes it's hard for a girlfriend or a wife, you know, to tell their boyfriend or husband or partner that they are struggling, because at least for me, I felt like I would be a bad mom if I expressed to Oscar that I was exhausted or that I didn't want to change his diaper. So for a long time, I kind of like held it in, not my sadness, my tears were still flowing, but I held what I wanted to say back because I was afraid of that. So I think it's important that you guys realize that it does not make you a bad mother. You have so many years to prove you're a good mom and show people that you're a good mom, that honestly, take those 2 weeks to 2 months to just, it's okay to do that. So try not to be afraid to do that. But in my case, I wasn't afraid to do that. So I just really needed a friend and missed people, and I don't really have time to sit there and text all my friends long paragraphs. I did sometimes, so that was one of my biggest struggles, is moving here. I remember thinking to myself, I just want to get in the car and drive back. Like, seriously, I just want to put the car seat in the car, forget all our stuff. I don't even care. I want to leave. And I remember it was like 11 o'clock at night one night, and I told Oscar, I want to go. I need to go right now. Like, I want to just get up and move. Now, we do daily vlogs, and a lot of this was shared throughout our daily vlogs because I was very open about it. I'm very open in my daily vlogs when it comes to pretty much everything. Maybe not my underwear drawer, but everything else I'm pretty open about. A lot of you guys might remember this, but I just was like, I just want to leave. I cannot be here anymore. And of course we did not leave, because who gets up and leaves, you know? But Oscar was supportive. He's like, okay, we'll leave. Just like, let's like, you know, just kind of prolonging it. Just tomorrow we need to tell the family, blah, blah, blah. So I was so ready to go. It's unbelievable how much I wanted to get in the car and go. But Oscar had work and all that, and I knew that he would have to give a 2-week notice. So I just kind of told myself, oh, okay, you know, we're going. I just have to wait 2 weeks. And that kind of put my mind at ease. So some things that I did is like go to TJ Maxx. They have TJ Maxx in LA as well, so I would go in there, and I know this sounds crazy, but kind of pretend that I was there. Because I had never felt more crazy in my life than I did when I had baby blues. I was like trapped inside myself. It's really hard to explain. I think that's what's hard about baby blues, is that it's hard to explain to other people. I don't necessarily remember how long this lasted or anything like that. I think a lot of it you end up blocking out, and a lot of it you forget because you're so tired. So I don't remember how long it lasted. I want to say 2 to 4 weeks, and trust me, it feels like 6 months. I totally understand if that's what you're going through. It feels like so long, but it did go away. I remember, you guys, I researched online, how long will it take until baby blues go away? And I think it said like 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, you know, like, I'm waiting. After 2 weeks, I still felt kind of depressed, and I was like, oh my gosh, it said 2 weeks, like, come on, people. And I thought I must have postpartum depression because that doesn't go away. So I kind of thought that for a while, and then I didn't. So the internet was wrong when I looked that up. It's not necessarily 2 weeks. It can be, I think, 2 weeks to 2 months. Honestly, if I could put it on a scale for you guys, that's how I would put it, is a 1,000 out of 1 out of 20. I mean, it's exhausting, it's terrible. You can't understand yourself, you can't understand your feelings. So my best advice for all of this is to wait it out. I know it sounds terrible, but timing is really the only thing that can 100% cure baby blues, is just to wait. I remember, guys, I remember looking at the calendar and being like, okay, what day is it? Okay, what day is it? Okay, it's been in a week and a half. Okay, it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So I mean, that's all you can really do that will have an effect, have a like direct 100% cure, is waiting. Another one that I would recommend is staying busy. I've always recommended that to you guys over the sleep when your baby sleeps. I really recommend just staying busy because you'll catch up on sleep later. I mean, unless you're becoming delusional and dangerous, then go to sleep. But staying busy, watching a TV show, going on walks, those things really help me. Exercise, I think, is a good way to help because you feel like you have some sort of purpose, which is another thing when I had baby blues. I knew that my purpose was to be a mom, but then I was like, then what? Then what? What else is my purpose? Like, I could not find an answer to anything in my life, I'm telling you. It was very, like, chaotic. But exercising, I think, makes you feel good about yourself. You're getting that baby weight off. But the problem with exercising is I think that they recommend 6 weeks. And unfortunately, sometimes baby blues can go away by then, which is good, but at the same time, it's like, why couldn't I exercise when I had the baby blues? Be reminded that there is a world still going on. You are a part of that world, because I think that's part of it, is you're at home with a new baby and you kind of just feel trapped. And I kind of forgot that there's an outside world. The world is still spinning. People are still going to college, getting jobs, reaching their goals and achieving their dreams. So I think that it's good to go out and see that, and see that everything's still going on, so you gotta still go on. That's pretty much it for my story. I'm sorry if it was all over the place, or if this is a long video. I'm not sure how long it's going to be because I can't see how long it's been, but I really hope that this was helpful, I guess, to some of you, or some of you at least kind of saw what baby blues can be like in one case, in one situation or another. At this point, I feel like I'm rambling and just trying to get all my thoughts out there. I didn't make notes for this video, and I'm sorry if it bothered you that it was all over the place, but that's kind of just, that's me, girl. I'm just kind of unorganized. I'm female, what can I say? So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! To start off with is the Dr. Brown's bottle. I did mention this in my must-haves video, but I had only tried it a few times and had heard great